Hey folks, what's going on?
Well, for starters, we haven't done one of these in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've
it's just been busyness for a while.
Dave started his new job, and I had,
Yeah.
I got nothing else besides
It takes
that.
two to do the movie review.
Yeah,
and,
so...
it happens.
Good news, though, for you Netflix watchers. They just got a deal with, I think, Paramount.
MGM. I don't know.
Anyway,
one of the big
bunch
studios.
of new movies on the instant queue, so we're watching a bunch of new stuff. So tonight we watched two movies actually,
and both of them were so bad we didn't finish. Either one, really.
Well, we fast forwarded. We gave the other one a 2 since we actually
we made it to the end.
To the end, so the last scene.
We cheated, but we made it there.
We made it there. It's still finishing. The other one, we gave up. It was just. I was disappointed from the beginning. It was the first one anyway. The first one was called Raw Deal.
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, let's get some setup for this movie. We were wanting to come back in strong, do an Arnold movie. We've had success with those in the past.
Yeah.
Arnold hasn't let us down. It was mid-'80s Arnold.
Yeah, we were good to go. I mean, you got mid-'80s Arnold. You got Predator. You got
Total Recall.
You've got a lot of great
Terminator.
Movies. Yeah, first Terminator. A lot of great movies for Arnold in the 80s.
A lot of really good 80s movies.
Yeah,
that was when he was at the top of his game. In my
so
opinion.
we were thinking, good movie. It's got Arnold in it, whatever. And let's
talk about a raw deal.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking Raw Deal. Bull hockey.
So this movie was bad. I mean, just in a word.
The acting was all right. The acting was okay. The storyline was all right. It was just
everything was pulled off just kind of poorly.
Yeah,
and nothing really synced up. It was your typical, like if you could imagine the entire beginning of Kindergarten Cop when he goes in and he breaks up the.
Sorry. Breaks up the what?
He breaks up the whole thing when he's at the chain wall and he's like, I'm the potty pooper.
Yeah.
It's like an entire hour and a half of movie stretched into the beginning of Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Yeah. And it was just, I don't know. It was.
And we ended with a mega happy ending, and I mean, it just was.
Well, we don't want we don't want to end with Bambi getting shot. We just want something realistic to go along with the rest of the movie. And it wasn't. It was just all like
it didn't fit.
Puppy Dog farts and sunshine. It was like, come on.
It just didn't fit.
No.
So ultimately, Raw Deal gets a 2 stars, which is
finished it, but didn't like it.
Finished it, but I wouldn't watch it again. Yeah. Probably under any circumstances.
Yeah. If I was at somebody's place and they say, hey, let's watch Raw Deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm like, no.
I was like, I got someplace to be.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. This is not right. So we moved on from there. We had about an hour and a half left, which we didn't make it through our second movie. We've got a bunch of zombie movies, and of course, my affinity for zombie. Actually, a shared affinity for zombie movies, And I was like, well, we have one on our queue that's called City of the Living Dead. And this was filmed, I don't know if it was filmed in the U.S. or
I don't think so. It's an Italian film.
But all the credits are for, it's an Italian filmmaker, a film company, Italian people in it. And I guess they know English, because I was really hoping it would be in Italian, because we've seen one before.
Yeah.
Dead Snow, and it was in Swedish, I think.
It was Iceland.
Icelandic, yeah.
Icelandic.
Yeah.
And that movie's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, you got 5 stars.
I put it in my top 3 zombie movies.
Yeah.
So
it makes number 4 for me, but it's good. It's really, really good. We got 5 stars from both of us.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. This one, we were hoping, it's 1980. We're like, okay,
It could be cheesy enough to be watchable.
No.
Oh, jeez. Well, for one, there's not nearly enough zombie action in this movie.
Oh, no.
And it was really verging on kind of questionable zombie anyway.
Yeah. The basic synopsis is that there's this priest that dies, and for some reason that opens a gate to hell.
He commits suicide. He hangs himself in some cemetery, and that somehow opens the gates of hell in the city of the living dead.
And they have to close it by All Saints Day, which, if you don't know, is October 31st.
Halloween. No. All Saints Day is November 1st because Halloween is
whatever.
The day. Whatever.
Don't get all.
I'm not gonna go there.
Don't get all. Technicolor on me.
Technicolor. That's nice.
Whatever. Anyway, they gotta close it by, midnight on Halloween. Otherwise, all shit breaks loose and
the world will end in apocalyptic.
I think it was explained that when people die, their souls can't go where they need to go, and people start raising from the dead, and
yeah. Good. But really, we only saw 2 people raised from the dead, and honestly though, the effects were really good.
Yeah.
I mean, for 1980, it was pretty gory and pretty
gory
gross.
As far as that goes. It was pretty good, but again, not enough zombie.
We saw one girl puke up her intestines and her stomach and her liver, and I mean, it was graphic. It was gross.
I thought it was frogs there for a second, but it was her intestinal tract.
Then we saw another guy get his head drilled through. It was set up to be like a lathe, but it had a drill bit in the end instead of.
Well, see,
a lathe?
I don't know.
Well, normally a lathe, you got 2 ends that hold together and they spin.
Well, on a metal lathe, you have a piece, your stock. Normally, your metal lathe, your stock stays still, and then the drill bit or whatever you're drilling into or lathing out will move.
Well, this thing only had one end.
One end on it. Anyway, this guy catches this guy named Bob. Bob is a character we meet earlier on in the movie. He walks kind of secretively into a broken down, shabby hut thing and whips out a... it's really kind of cool. You ever see those tents? You ever see those tents that you just kind of throw and they pop up?
Poof.
It's a tent, Well, this was a blow-up doll.
And it was self-inflating.
Yeah, and you just throw it in a corner and it was just like, poof, blow-up doll. And
there she is.
Yeah. And so Bob is this real shady, kind of porn-addicted, weird guy.
Yeah. He's like the social pariah of the young people.
Yeah, I don't even know why he's there. I mean, I don't know what he has to do with this whole story. But anyway, he gets chased down by the king zombie, if you will, the priest, and kills one of his friends or persons that he knows, the young lady. He gets blamed for it. He runs away. He tries to find solace or somewhere to sleep in the backseat of this car with someone else he knows. Happens to be a young lady. Well, the young lady finds Bob. Yeah. The young lady finds Bob, says, "Hey, let's do a J or smoke some dope or whatever. We gotta be quick. My dad's gonna find us."
Lo and behold,
Dad finds them. He's like, "Bar, what are you doing?"
And he's all angry because he's like, "Pervert with my daughter. You already killed one lady."
Yeah, exactly.
So he grabs him by the head and shoves his head into the wood lathe.
Yeah, it's just...
And it's just like... they do this super slow-mo and it's just gross.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's not good.
And then other people get appendages bitten off, their arms and fingers get.
I mean, it sounds pretty good for a zombie movie, but really it wasn't zombies.
But the problem is we just gave you all the highlights of the first 50 minutes.
Yeah, and this is you could sum all this up, all the good gory parts as far as zombies go, and just a gory movie in 10-15 minutes. Yeah, and the rest of it's just fodder.
Yeah,
it's nonsense.
It's bad.
Oh, and a lot of this.
Here we go.
Insane close up. It's ridiculous.
Look at my eye close up.
Oh, get your eye. Yeah, you get a lot of this, and it's just and this other lady, there's the seance leader lady that breaks the third wall constantly.
She's obsessed with the Book of Enoch, which really isn't that impressive.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with what they're talking about.
In a scene, she'll be talking here with somebody else. She'll be like,
"And
this is bad," and I'm like, "What are you doing?" This is poor directing right here. It's come on.
And I made the comment when we started that it felt more like a made-for-TV zombie soap opera.
Yeah.
Because every time we do a shot, we pan in close up, and then they speak, and then pan over close up, and then they speak.
And it's not even a good close up. It's right here.
Too close. Close up.
It's jeez. So anyway. Just not a good movie. We've got some others on our Insta-Queue that look a little bit more promising. So
one is the mockumentary looks. I think that's going to be the best one. Of all
it's going to be pretty good. It's about a couple that go undercover into a zombie subculture that's in L.A. and try to learn from them. It's going to be pretty good.
So it looks pretty good. American Zombie, I think.
American Zombie is the name of that one. There's also one called. If you're familiar, there's a movie called The Quick and the Dead. It's got a lot of great names in it. It's got Hugh.
The Quick and the Dead.
Quick and the Dead, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie.
It's got Gene Hackman.
He plays the
Russell Crowe in it. Yeah, great movie. Well, there's a spoof on that called The Undead and
the Quick and the Undead.
Quick and the Undead,
starring Chris Kattan.
Chris Kattan as a cowboy, and I'm like, no,
Wow,
ain't gonna happen.
This is gonna last about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and we're not even gonna finish it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So kind of excited. There's a lot of good movies, a lot of stuff. Oh, we also found. Back in the day, by the way, we gave City of the Dead, Living Dead,
a 1.
A 1? Did we give it a 1?
I'm giving it a 1.
Oh,
if you want to give it a 2, then we'll give it the higher ranking. But
No.
For me, it gets a 1 because I wouldn't finish it.
Give it a 1. We're done. Where was I going?
Good movies on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh! Back in the day, I used to really have a quite a pretty cool collection of these movies put out by MGM called Midnight Movies. And one of my personal favorites was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But we found a couple. Another one of my favorites called Angry Red Planet, which is a fantastic movie. I think it was out in like the late 50s, early 60s. Black and white until they get to Mars, and then it turns all color.
Yeah.
And then
my personal favorite, which is Planet of the Vampires, which you just have to watch Planet of the Vampires.
It's great.
It's so campy.
It's funny when they say they're vampires.
Oh, well, they're more like zombies than vampires. So it could have been Planet of the Zombies, and it would have been fine. But I like the set when the sets are made of cardboard.
Oh yeah, back in like the 50s and 60s, and they're like
everybody's wearing a jumpsuit that's made of spandex.
Yeah, and they're filming out in black and white out in like New Mexico or something like that.
Yeah, it's just awful, but it's so good.
Yeah,
it's awful in a good kind of way.
Anyway, that's what's going on. Watch yourself some good movies.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I'm good. Yeah. It's nice to be back. Yeah. You know, have a little time.
We'll start putting some more stuff out, and I know we need to do a Zach Wow pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
I got like pole weapon, like gardening tool stuff with sticks and all.
And I think we're about at a minute. So.
Okay, well, that's cool. Anyway, you know the rules. Random zombie rule.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know. Don't go to seances. They're bad.
Don't go to seances.
End up living
and
dead.
Stay away from the gates of hell. Not cool either.